And joining us now to talk more about the rising gas prices, the head of Petroleum Analysis at GasBuddy, Patrick De Haan. Thank you so much for being here this morning.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, so we want to take a look at this chart, and according to GasBuddy, the national average for a gallon of gas is over $4 a gallon. Here in Seattle, over $5.60. So driving, flying, merchandise costs, all going up with these higher gas prices. I'm curious what strategies you have for families who are struggling with these high prices right now.
Yeah, I mean, that's really tough. Aside from canceling your plans, which really would have a huge impact. I mean, there's not much you can do. There still are some things. How you drive has a major impact on how many miles you get per tank. If you can be fuel efficient, if you can slow down a little bit on the highway and use your cruise control and set it for 60 or 65 instead of higher than that, you're going to do a lot better. When you're driving around town trying to anticipate when that light is going to turn red and coast instead of use your accelerator, that would help. And certainly reducing your rate of acceleration would also help. The harder your engine has to work, the more fuel it's consuming. If you do just those few basic things, you can generally increase your fuel efficiency by 15 to 25%, which would act to cut your fuel bill by 75 cents a gallon. So driving fuel efficiently when you do need to fill up, checking apps like GasBuddy and Google Maps for lower prices. I noticed across Seattle this morning, some stations well below 5, some well above 5. So making sure you're getting a good deal in your immediate vicinity. When you do find a low price station, things like loyalty programs are easy to sign up for. They may roll your price back 5 to 10 cents. If you're a member of a wholesale club, that's a great option. Some grocery stores offer savings on certain items, or they'll give you a discount on gas when you buy certain items. All of those can be paired together. Even GasBuddy, we have a payments card that saves up to 33 cents a gallon when linked to your checking account. Some stations offer cash discounts, and there are credit cards that may have rebates and rewards. So all of those, how you pay, make sure you're getting an advantage, shopping around to find lower prices, and fuel efficiency are all huge things. Some of the GasBuddy users we have saved $45 to $60 a month by just using those factors.
So, Patrick, from your perspective, is there a threshold with gas prices where this becomes a full-blown national crisis?
Well, we're certainly getting closer to that number every day. It's usually somewhere in the ballpark of 4 to 5% of median household income spent on gasoline is usually when people will start really curtailing everything that they're spending. They'll start getting the bike out or walking wherever possible and using mass transit. Now, for a lot of states, we're getting close to 3.5% of median income on gasoline. And again, when we get to between 4 and 5, it's not so much the price. The price is something we'll complain about, and $4 does seem really steep. But at the end of the day, it's how much left in your paycheck you have. And when you're at about 4 to 5% of your income on gasoline, that's when you have very little left to spend on other things. And already, Americans have spent nearly $10 billion more on gasoline compared to where we were just ahead of the war. So it's adding up in real time.
Now, I'm old enough to remember back in the 70s when stations were running out of gas. Are we anywhere near that point? Is the availability of gas going to be an issue at some point if this war drags on?
I mean, it's not impossible. The difficulty for the West Coast, the nail in the coffin for California was seeing the shutdown of 2 refineries and not really acting. It's programs like Cap and Invest, which may certainly help keep the air cleaner, but also chase away refineries from wanting to produce fuel that we really badly need right now. So it's these types of policies in the backdrop that make things more expensive, that put guardrails on the industry and limit how much refining capacity we have. And that makes us more susceptible. California's refineries shutting down in the last year, 2 of them are making us far more vulnerable on the entire West Coast. And now, with the loss of those refineries, we're having to import gasoline from the same places that are now finding it difficult to find oil themselves.
Now, in the Seattle area, we've seen some gas stations increase the price of a gallon by over 10 cents within a 24-hour period. Do you believe that some of the price increases are being driven by companies trying to take advantage of the situation?
I really don't think it's at all that. I think stations are trying to stay ahead of it. That 10-cent increase, depending on what it was, I saw wholesale gas prices yesterday in some areas of the country move up 40 cents a gallon. Stations in many instances are 2 to 3 days behind on raising prices, and that's how analysts like me can tell you that we're about to see another drastic jump, is because stations are not ahead of what they're doing. They're trying to keep up and trying to keep their business afloat. I mean, this is like the airlines. They're raising bag fees because they're really at a loss for how to pass this increase along For gas stations, they're generally behind the curve. And in many cases right now, gas stations hate rising prices more than you and I because it makes business harder. It leads to more theft and low morale. It's very difficult for station owners to stay afloat in an environment like we're in.
If the war in Iran ends tomorrow, could we expect prices to drop dramatically?
It depends. I mean, we're at a point now where we've lost 500 million barrels of oil because of the closure. So there will probably be an immediate gut reaction that could send oil down by 10 or 15%. But keep in mind, there's a lot of things bending in the background that will take months to recover from. So to your point, yes, we'd likely see oil plummet immediately. And that could stop the increases and it could start the decreases within 3 to 5 days. But it could take a couple of months for those decreases to fully be passed along because stations will lower their prices more slowly to make up for when prices went negative. Their margin went negative when prices went up. So we will see relief when it ends, but it may take a little bit of time.
It is an issue that we're all dealing with right now. Patrick De Haan with GasBuddy, thank you so much for your insight this morning. We appreciate it.